don't sleep in the FOBs. They are organizing those kind of shaping. When we handed over this FOB Barire, and the sector commander spoke to them, he said that you can rely on us. We can continue to support you because they have another FOB. 10 kilometers. Far from Barire, and then they say that they are there. One, they say that you can rely on us because our people, they know that regularly they conduct shaping and clearance operation. Recently, UPDF and the Burundian, they went to the forest, Al-Foder forest, to dislodge Al-Shabaab. That was a big milestone, for us this year. And that was, I think, the last big achievement for my twin brother, General Sam Okiding, before he left the mission as a force commander and became the deputy CDF. And I take this opportunity to commend his work and his leadership when he was here. He was really a big and a strong leader for this mission. I mentioned the national reconciliation and social cohesion. If today we identify that we have 20,000 or 22,000 or 25,000 of Shabaab, are we going to exterminate them once? We are going to put them, it means that if you do that, each one has a father, has a brother, has two sons, so then this will be multiplied 5 or 10. You understand? You are going to have 200,000 Shabaab. The best way is to continue this pressure on them, and also to engage those who are close to them, so then they can talk to them a language that they can understand. A language that can understand. They said that you are lost. What you are doing is not the right way. All of us, we are Somalis, and there is a need for us to build this nation, and it's not something that should be done by the general or by the ambassador, but all of us, we have this responsibility to do so. And this worked in the past. Some of their leaders, they defeated, and then they joined the government, and they are playing an important role. And some of those people who have been captured, they apologize. They realize that because we are talking about ideology. If we were talking about ideology, this is something, very strong. You might think that you are in the right, but when you realize that it was the wrong way, so then you come back, and this is what happened. I take this opportunity to thank President Museveni. I think when we were there last year, his message was very strong and followed, and he encouraged always, the troops who are here on the ground, the different mission conducted here that boost the morale of the troops, but also boost the morale of the people like us who are working with the troops. So I take this opportunity to thank him and to thank the people of Uganda. We had the opportunity to receive parliamentarians. They came here, they realize and acknowledge the good work that the UPDF is doing here on the ground. Same thing to the other contingent. Either we receive an ambassador, either we receive a minister, they came and they observe, they realize that we are doing, because we are doing a lot of things and good things. If there is no peace in this country, the security and the stability of the entire region will be affected, the Horn of Africa. If the stability and the security of the Horn of Africa is compromised, it means that the entire continent, this will go. I told you that Al-Shabaab, they have the capability to target Kampala, to target Entebbe, as they have done Kenya and Tanzania. And today they have a branch in the north of Mozambique. It's a threat. So then the north of Mozambique, it means that the entire southern of Africa and the Indian Ocean will be targeted and affected. Thank you very much. I have the privilege to be with two of the generals, leadership of this mission. The acting force commander is the one who took over from General Sam Okiding, and the fourth chief of staff. I give them the mic to introduce themselves.
From Burundi, I'm the acting force commander.
From Ethiopia, Artemis Chief of Staff.
Okay.
And also this. This is mine. They are the same.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 14 or 13, as far as we did it, brief lunch. 14, 13. 230. That is what we are talking. Yes. Come to meet you at 2:30. Yes.
Thank you, General.
We move.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, ladies, let us go to the hospital.
So have done advanced trauma life support from the college, the American College of Surgeons. Today, I beg that I give you a brief on the medical component here in Mogadishu. With me, I have my Tri-C, Lieutenant Karim Mwanga. I beg to proceed, sir. Yes, the medical corps major role is to give medical support to our troops here in Mogadishu, and the following up the beneficiaries of our medical services. Troops, the Artemis troops, these ones comprises of UPDF, Kenya Defense Force, Burundi National Defense Force, Ethiopian National Defense Force, and Djibouti. We are centrally located within Mogadishu, so that's why we end up offering support to all these troops. Even if all these forces have sent their medical components, we also, because of our central location within Mogadishu, we end up supporting also those other forces. We also support the UN staff, the United Nations staff, the Somali National Army, that is SNA, the Somali police, the AU police. AU is African Union in full. The AU police, the countries that contribute are Ethiopia, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Ghana. We also have international civilians within the mission area that we support. We have Somali national civilian population that that are within our area of responsibility. Then the force headquarter personnel and the mission headquarter personnel. The medical component within the mission is composed of, from UPDF, is composed of about 300 medical personnel that supports the troops from the smallest formation, from a platoon. The smallest formation, you can talk about a platoon of about 12 soldiers to contingent level. Our area of responsibility stretches from Balawe, down there, all the way to Serijale, Albiska, and up to here, base camp. The medical structure within the mission is in such a way that the smallest level is a Bade first aid. We call it Bade first aid. This one is given by every soldier. We have one at Balawe Embreso, another one at Serijale headquarters, have one at Aribiska, and another one at Baledegore. We have, then from the level 1 hospitals, we go to level 2 hospital, which is where we are now at base camp. I'll talk about level 2 hospital in a short while. From level 2 hospital, we go to level 3 hospital, which is either in Nairobi, Kenya, or in Uganda at the General Military Hospital in Bombo. Then from there, we go to level 4 hospital, which is in South Africa. Now, these are different levels of care. A very small injury or illness will be, attended to by a body. Now, as the disease progresses, we also progress in the levels of care, and the services also advance as we go upwards. Talking about level 2 hospital, it's a 40-bed occupancy health facility, and this is where we are now. It has capacity to accommodate up to 100 patients in cases of mass casualties. It is staffed by 61 medical personnel. These are UPDF personnel. Within this personnel, we have a total of 8 qualified doctors. We have 21 nurses, paramedics, and we also have 32 other staff. We have capacity in case we need, within the mission area, we have capacity in case we need to increase the levels here for more support in case we got mass casualties. We have capacity to mobilize from the forward bases to level 2 hospital to beef up this staffing level. The hospital offers the following services: general curative medical services. These ones include accident and emergency services. These ones are supported by a effective ambulance system. We offer surgical service. We offer surgery. We have intensive care unit, stroke high dependency units. This unit has a total of 4 beds. For those of us who were there during COVID, when we talk about intensive care or ICU, we know what we are talking about. We also have dental services. We have specialized units like eye and ENT. We have other diagnostics here within level 2 hospital, and also other support units to support the hospital. We have a pharmacy. We have X-ray department, which also has an ultrasound unit there to help us in diagnostics. We have a laboratory, and the special element about this laboratory is that it has potential for to do blood transfusion. We can collect blood from our own selves and transfuse in case we needed. We had a person who needed blood. We have counseling and mental health unit within the hospital. We have public health. We also do medical outreaches. As you know, civil-military cooperation within UPDF is a good element. So even here we have civil-military, and we do outreaches for our friends, our colleagues, the Somali nationals. What have been our achievements? Achievements have been many. I'll just point out a few. And I looked at forward operating bases. So in the month of May, we cumulatively admitted 71 patients. Out of 71, we are able to treat and discharge 60. These ones return to their commanders in the forward operating bases. We did 7 referrals to level 3 hospitals, both Nairobi and GMH Bombo. There are few of these that are still within the hospital undergoing care and rehabilitation. Within that month, we have not registered any death at this facility. More about achievements. We have coordinated Medivacs and Casivacs from the forward bases. Medivac refers to medical evacuation. In case there is a soldier who is injured or has an emergency, any illness, a severe headache that is not able to be handled at the forward bases, we evacuate them. And Casivacs also we evacuate them from the level. Achievements, we've conducted medical camps, as I've already mentioned. Within that period, in that month, we've had 2 outreaches. We've done medical camps. We've had one in Serijale, level 1 hospital, and we've also done another one at Aribiska. In these camps, we've treated over 200 local civilians. The civilians here believe in us a lot, and they trust they trust us. So we've treated over 200. Now these camps, we want to thank our partners like Bancroft because they've supported us logistically. We have also conducted in-mission trainings for our medical personnel. Within that period, we've trained 85 medical personnel. We've trained them in advanced care, life support. These are very good courses in medical. And also pre-hospital trauma life support. We have also conducted continuing medical education series at different levels within the mission. Importantly, we have acquired capability, ladies and gentlemen, to deploy, according to UN standard, to deploy a level 2 hospital. As you came in, I'm sure you've seen some containers. These are containers that are that have equipment to replace most of the things that you're going to see within this hospital, because these ones are worn out. So our country has gotten capability to deploy, according to UN standard, to deploy with both personnel, qualified personnel according to UN standard, and also equipment. So the equipment, very soon, maybe as we finish this, we shall be beginning to install the equipment. This equipment, they include, but not limited to, the following. We have a digital X-ray machine. We have an oxygen plant, state-of-the-art oxygen plant. We have a dental unit, which does basic but also advanced, because we have a dental surgeon, qualified dental surgeon, who is registered by the Uganda Medical and Dental Practitioners Council. We also have 2 well-equipped ambulances within this equipment. We have 2 heavy-duty generators for backup. We also have equipment to use in the operating theater and equipment for ICU, intensive care unit. Our work here has not gone without challenges. The following challenges. In a few cases, we've registered some delays in air evacuation, and mainly this one has been attributed to weather problems, bad weather. This, like I've already mentioned, the other challenge, which you can either call a challenge or maybe it's an achievement. I don't know how you'll take it, but we have a high demand of our services by the local population. They really believe in us. And we cannot leave them. Sometimes they have emergency cases, and we have to treat them, because as I've told you, we believe in military cooperation. So we have very big numbers and a very big demand, and most of the time they stretch our logistics. The other challenge has been a new trend in endemic diseases. Back home in Uganda, when we talk about an endemic disease like malaria, here we talk about dengue fever. Ladies and gentlemen, while here there is dengue fever, it is spread by mosquitoes. Be aware of that. When you go home and you have a fever and non-specific symptoms, tell your doctor that you've been to Somalia. The doctors there, you can even lead them by telling them that Somalia has dengue. Other than, because it also presents somehow like malaria, but it's not malaria. So when you lead your doctor, the medical component within the mission is doing very well. We are supporting our troops very well, and we've registered those achievements as I've mentioned. Thank you very much, Doctor. And I think for this, okay. Impi, Basebo Nebanyabo, Amanya, Captain Dr. Margaret Nansubuga, omuduumizi oba omukulembeze waali n'eddwaliro level 2 hospital. Omuduumizi wa level 2 hospital mu sector 1 in Mogadishu. Ndi surgeon omusawo alongoosa ebyokulongoosa nabisomera Makerere University n'ebirala n'ebirala okuva mu nenkola board exam from COSEXA. Wano ndi mukwogera ku medical component ebyobusawo byetukola e Mogadishu okusupportinga ejje lyaffe eriri Mogadishu. Nga bwe tumanyi Uganda eryemu ku nsi ezasindika ejje okuuma emirembe, okuuma obutebenkevu Somalia, okuyamba Baganda baffe ab'e Somalia, naffe tuli omu ku bo. Bwe tuli wano services zaffe tuzituusa kwezo troops ezezo ensi zonna. Wano Mogadishu tuli mu central location, mu Somalia tuli mu Mogadishu, which is the capital city. So tuyamba obujjanjabi tubutuusa kwaga mawanga gonna agali wano agatebenkeza emirembe. Tujjanjaba ne ba staff ba UN, ne tujjanjaba ne ba staff ba ejje Somalia, ne tujjanjaba ne police. Wano waliwo amaje, waliwo ne police. Ensi eziweereza aba police ziri mu Ethiopia, mulimu Nigeria, mulimu Kenya, ne Uganda ne Ghana. Nazo tuziyamba nga tutuusaako obujjanjabi. Tulina ne international civilians abatali abasirikale naye nga bali wano, nabo tubayamba from abava mu nsi ez'enjawulo, ne basomali abanansi, then n'abakozi abakola ku force headquarter ne commission headquarter. Ekitundu kyaffe kya abasawo abali wano mu mission tuwera 300 nga twegabanyizaamu ebitundu bitini. Tulina levels z'enjawulo ze tujjanjaba. Level esooka gye nayogeddeko ye level tugiyita bade first aid. Bade kitege buli musirikale waffe amanyi ekyokukola ekyobujjanjabi, asobola okutuusa ku munneewe obujjanjabi singa omunne aba afunye obuzibu. Bwe tuva ku eyo level tugenda ku endala level bagita basic level. Eno basic level tuteekayo abasawo abakadde ya wansi, bo baba basobola okujjanjaba ejje lyaffe bu groups obutini nga platoon abantu nga 12 tubaterayo musawo. Abantu nga 12 okutuuka ku bantu nga 10 tubaterayo abasawo abasobola nabo bayamba mangu okubawa first aid from us. Sobode kujjanjaba mu ezo different levels. There are also referral systems. Bwe tuba tetusobodde kujjanjaba biri ge tukozesa, erimu liri Nairobi, eddala liri Uganda Bombo General Military Hospital, eddala tubatwale Nairobi. Nga level 3 elemeddwa ebesobola omuntu waffe our troops betujjanjaba baba basobola okubatwala mu level 4 hospital. okwogerako kati ni kwe 40 naye nga bwe mbagambye lirina obusobozi okujjanjaba okutuusa ku bantu 100 singa tuba tufunye omulundi gumu ne tufuna abalwadde bangi tuba tusobola okuextendinga nga bwemulaba ebizimbe bingi tusobola okujjanjaba kutuusa abantu 100 abasawo abakola mu lino eddwaliro tuli 61 tuli 61 mu bano 61 tulinamu qualified doctors 8 qualified nurses ne paramedics bali 21 n'abalala 32 kufuna enamba eyo toto mu bana abasawo tulinamu specialists 3 tulina specialist general surgeon nze kamwa kwogera tulinamu specialist orthopedic surgeon tulina ne specialist or physician bamita physician mu ddwaliro lino biki bye tukola ebyobujjanjabi ebyobulijjo tubiyita general services okujjanjaba tulina accident ne emergency ebigambo ebimu nansonyiwa si byangu by'okukyusa mu Luganda ne tukola ebintu bya accident ne emergency tulina service eyo nge service eyo eyambibwako very good effective ambulance system ambulance tulina 2 very good although in the park mwenzo zaba zisukka nawo naye nge the effective one ziri 2 tukola ebyokulongoosa tukola intensive care oba high dependency care tukola ebyamannyo kujjanjaba amannyo tulina unit ejjanjaba amaaso nejjanjaba ear nose and throat ENT tukola n'ebirala ebyokunoonyerezaako obulwadde nga tukozesa ebitongole byaffe bya x-ray laboratory tulina ne pharmacy etugabira amadagala tukola ne okubudaabuda kwe tuyita counseling ne mental health tukola ne public health olumu tugenda ne tukola medical camp tugenda mu community ne tujjanjaba bannansi ababa nga tebasobodde kujja mu malwaliro biki bye tufunye mu mission eno bye tusobodde okutuusaako ebigendererwa nga tusobodde bifuna bulungi ekigendererwa kyaffe mu byobulamu wano kulaba nga ejje lyaffe liri bulungi liriramu lisobola okubeera mu bases gye balitadde posts zaabo kubanga bakuuma emirembe mu mwezi ogwokutaano bwe tutunulamu mu records tukisanga nga twasobola okuwa ebitanda okwadimitinga abantu 71 kuba no 71 abantu 6 twasobola obasiibula ne baddayo ewa commanders baabwe okukwaza emirimu gyabwe egyabaleeta abantu 7 twabasindika mu level eddako level eyokusatu either twabasindika e Uganda oba twabamalirize naye nga bali bulungi tusoobera nabo bajja kubeera nga tubasiibula mweri ebbanga ly'omwezi ogwokutaano tetwarigisalingayo omuntu yenna yatufaako mu lino eddwaliro ekirala tusobodde okukola obulungi tusobodde tukita evacuation okubeera nga tusobola okujjayo omuntu ayagadde obujjanjabi obusingako mu level mwali abo tukoze ku balwadde 73 abalwadde bano okusinga babadde bajje lya Somalia kuba nabo tubayamba bwe baba bali eyo mu forward base gye bali mu level za wansi batubuulira ne tugenda mangu ne tubajjayo ne tusobola okubaleeta mu ddwaliro lino okufuna obujjanjabi obw'ekika ekya waggulu so kweyo tukoze ku balwadde 52 kuva mu Somali Somali National Army ne tukola ku balwadde abaffe aba UPDF babadde 15 n'abalala babadde 6 nga bwe nabagambye wano tukola medical camp mu mwezi ogwokutaano twakozeyo medical camp 2 emu twagikoze ku Serijale level 1 hospital mweyo community endala twagikoze mu Arabiska mu zino camp tutreatinga abantu bangi kuba abantu bawano baagala nnyo obujjanjabi bwaffe era twatreatinga abantu abasukka mu 2 mu buli camp, medical camp. Okukola medical camp eno tuyambiddwako ebitongole ebirala, ekimu bakita Bancroft. Era njagala twala omukisa guno okwebaza Bancroft batubeereddewo ko bwe tuba twagala ku logistics. Tusobodde n'okukola okutraininga abasawo baffe mu courses ez'enjawulo. Eno tugiyita in-mission training. Tusomeseza abasawo 85, abamu tubasomesa ku obujjanjabi babuyita Advanced Care Life Support ACLS course. Eno course eri international abagimanyiko, ne course endala bagiyita Pre-Hospital Trauma Life Support. Zino courses omuntu ng'afunye obuzibu mu accident, obujjanjabi obusooka obwetaagisa obw'ekika ekya waggulu tusobodde ozisomesa abasawo baffe. Then tukola no ebyokusomesa ebya bulijjo ku different levels ezo ze twogeddeko ez'obujjanjabi. Kati ekirala ekikulu kyesagala kwerabira nga Uganda oba nga eggwanga lyaffe tusobodde okusobola okukola eddwaliro lino erya level 2 hospital, oditeekamu abasawo n'oditeekamu ebintu ebyokukozesebwa okusinziira ku standard ya United Nations. Ekyo nakyo kibadde kikulu nnyo. Abasawo bano baba bateekawo nti twagala ebisaanizo bino, abasawo baffe babituukiriza byonna n'ebikozesebwa equipment nazo zonna ne tuzituukiriza. Mu zino equipment ze nabadde njogeddeko tuleese ekyuma eky'omulembe ekikola x-ray ne scan mubiri byebiri, n'ekikola oxygen nekiproducinga oxygen gwe tukozesa mu malwaliro, tukolese n'ekyuma ekirungi ekikola amannyo tugiyita dental unit. Mulimu n'ambulance 2, mulimu ne generators ez'amaanyi ezibeerawo singa amasannyalaze agaliwo gasunye obuzibu ezisupportinga. Mulimu n'ebyuma eby'omulembe ebikola mu theatre okulongoosa abalwadde n'okusupportinga abalwadde mu intensive care unit oba ICU. Bizibu ki bye tusanze nga tukuleete tubukola mu Somalia wano Mogadishu? Obuzibu si bungi. Obuzibu obusingira ddala bubadde bwa olw'olumu ne tufunamu okulwawo okukola evacuation. Evacuation zitegeeza nti omusirikale bw'abeereyo wansi bw'afuna obuzibu nga tulina omuleeta ku level 2 hospital, kuba mu mission tulina okukikola mu ssaawa 2 alina okutuuka wano ne tumuwa obujjanjabi obwetaagisa ku level 2 hospital. Olumu twesanga nga waliwo ko kaddire ne tutuuka mu ssaawa nga 3 tetunamuleeta. Kino kibaddewo olw'okuba olumu tubeera ne weather nga si nnungi, ate evacuation zino tuzikozesa air, tukozesa nnyonyi. Ekizibu ekirala naye oyinza obutakiyita, omu ayinza okiyita ekizibu, omulala ayinza obutakiyita kizibu. Abannansi b'e Somali bakkiriza nnyo mu bujjanjabi bwaffe, so tufuna ennumbers nnyingi ezijja nga zaagala services zaffe. Enamba zino zigenda mu different levels zonna nezo eza wansi, baba bagendayo na wano. Olumu zituleetera okuba nga tukwata ku ebyo ebintu bye tulina okukozesa ku troops zaffe ate ne tuzikozesa ku bannansi, kuba nabo olumu baba bafunye ebintu ebiri emergency ebitasobola kulinda nga beetaaga obujjanjabi obw'amangu. Ekiraba ekizibu kye tubadde tufunyeemu muno muli n'eggwanga, mulimu endwadde empya ze tetwamanyira nnyo, endwadde nga dengue. Dengue bulwadde bulinga malaria mu Uganda, nabwo buleetebwa ensiri. Ensiri ekuluma, ensiri za Uganda zikuluma ne zikuwa malaria oba omusujja gw'ensiri. Ensiri za wano zikuluma zikuleetera dengue oba omusujja gwa dengue. Ebizibu bye tufunyeemu bassebo ne bannyabo nga mpunzika jabi bwaffe bwe tuwa eggye lyaffe wano mu Somali bubadde tebulina buzibu binene nnyo, ne eggye lyaffe nalyo terina buzibu bunene mu byobulamu. Tugezezzaako okubalansinga ebyobulamu bulungi ne tulaba nga omusirikale waffe bwafuna ekizibu wano tumutuusaako ebyobulamu obwetaagisa bwe tuba tetusobodde mukolako bya bulamu bwetaagisa wano mu Somalia endala eri South Africa. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Ekyo ng'oli bwagambye tekibeerangawo. Obujanjabi bwa bwereere bwe tuba tusobodde tetubajjaako ssente, obujanjabi bwa bwereere.
We already expect you people. You know you can't watch videos and cameras, so we expect you people.
Just these 3 cases here, they are all in stable condition. They got minor injuries.
Not sure how they can now.
Minor injuries from the forward operating bases, and we are handling them. We are yet to explore their forward bases.
What happened?
They got some injuries in their places of work. This morning, daily we receive about 5. It depends. We can receive about, some days we don't receive any. There are days we receive up to 20. Yes. Our troops and also troops of the Somali National Force. And majorly, the biggest number we receive here is also from the Somali National Force. Bano betulina lero betufunye ku nkya ya lero bali basatu babaddeyo gye bakola mu field ne bafuna injuries. Bonna nga bwe tubafunye olwaleero bafunye injuries si z'amaanyi era babatuleetedde wano olunaku lwaleero nga bali stable. Twagala essaawa zino tutegeka batwala kukebera ebiwundu ebyo binaaza bulungi kola dressing n'okulaba obulungi naye nga tusuubira engeri gye bali mu mbeera ennungi mu ssaawa ezitali zeewala bajja kuba tubajjanjaba ne batereera mu weeks nga 2 era tusuubira within that time okubanga tusobola obbazaayo mu bifo byabwe bye bakolamu. Ennaku tusobola okufuna abalwadde ennaku ezimu tetufuna mulwadde yenna, ennaku endala tusobola okufuna abalwadde nga 5 okutuuka nga ku balwadde 2 kisinziira. Nga bwe nabagambye tetukola ku bajje lyaffe lyokka, tukola ne ku jje lya Somalia era ebiseera ebisinga wano numbers ezibeera ennene nnyo zibeera from ejje lya Somalia.
Okay. This one is
Some injury here is improving. Very soon we have treated him. Very soon we shall be discharging him. He's now improving.
Kuba gweyagala nnyo ebibyo eby'abantu tobyagala naye buli omu yazze luli oli bw'ava akola ebibyo tomuyimiriza kyo kigaanyi ono mbadde mbuuza bali ndikodinga byange ate kati no
musajja mbadde mbuuza gundi ate kati agamba twogere. Hello, small.
This one is a 20-year-old. He's been with us for about 1 month. He got some serious injuries. He was also shot by stray bullets, but we managed to treat him for that period of time, and is improving, as you can see. We are also about to discharge him.
Okay.
So,
that is the mother.
You problem. You problem, not me. Me no problem. Me no problem. You problem.
Medical. So these are the surgical, some of the surgical patients that we have.
No problem. You.
Huh? What's happening? Wamaliriza?
Kitawogende. Jekakasa.
And the doctors are carrying out a ward round. They are rounding through the patients. Dr. Tim is our physician. He's being seeing patients. And these are the patients that we have on this medical ward. As you can see, all of them are stabilizing. You'll maybe brief us a little bit. But they're all stable. They're also about to get this. They have general medical illnesses like dengue and the like.
Hey, I have to get here Muganda lady. So that you can know Uganda.
Yeah, I'm very available.
You've got one. You prepare. Sebo, story tonight. Go for you.
We shall proceed to pharmacy.
So for the get one.
And it is still recording. Oh my God.
Hariwo.
One, nikomewe wakanga muri balamu tebabafondako.
Mwebale kuweereza. Mwebale kuweereza.
Too much ndio kwa content omungi ana.
Man, you already shot.
So this is our pharmacy, and the pharmacy in charge, Dr. Leslie, is going to take us through what we do here and what he has.
I am Lieutenant Dr. Rogers SG. I'm the pharmacist at Field Hospital. Right here is our office, and this is our table for the clerk, where we do most of the documentation. And this is our store. This is our main store. We keep most of our essential drugs.
You can come up.
You can come.
That's where you're coming. No.
This is where we keep our essential drugs. These are fridges for our cold chain items. This is one of my staff. They're in charge of the store.
Once I show Ugandans that there is no medicine.
The medicine is available.
Hey.
Medicines have never been
Hospitals are not like the one with Uganda.
All the medicines from their accommodation.
So this is store for sundries.
You want to go back? If they keep me here, you want to go back or you want to stay? If you keep me here, I am too expensive. You would rather send me.
So this is for This is another store.
Never know.
This one is
So this is the hospital store. We also have a main store.
Sorry?
Kyonna ekibaawo.
May I see the blood bank? Yes, please.
These people should have done what you want to do.
It is voluntary, so you need not persuade anybody. Exactly. Good.
I am just from the
We do outreaches we go to munkambi, we go to Force Headquarters, we go to Marines, even within ourselves here. As I told you, a month average, we collect over 30 units of blood, and 75% of that is transfused to our soldiers. But in case we have, for example, if we are having operations, we increase that volume and we put out notices to everyone. They donate and we screen and make sure we have enough blood for our clients instead of begging from other places. Before, they used to get blood from other places, from Netherlands, from where, but the headquarters saw it right, and they brought the services here and do it ourselves here.
How many liters are you?
A blood bag carries a volume of around 450 ml of blood. Yes.
I mean, what is in a, how
That's
many?
a unit of blood, 450 milliliters.
Half a liter.
Yes.
Your name?
I'm called Francis Nkunzimana, a medical lab technologist.
Francis who?
Nkunzimana.
Nkunzimana.
Yes.
Doctor, you speak Uganda? So, anyone that can be on the side? And you, Margaret, welcome start. The act.
Kigamba isula ndowooza okubuuza kuli ki atuuze wali ayagala kubuuza
The accident saw during the operation on the battlefield. So they do X-rays to basically see if there are fractures and other injuries that they have gotten. So X-ray, this is our X-ray room this side. Is it safe for us to go in? It's safe. So this is our X-ray room where we do the X-rays. Whereby after taking the X-rays, we go to the other room where we process using the computer system to process our images.
This is one of the most modern machines.
Yeah, but we are putting another one.
So where do you put this one now?
Thank you.
So as I said, it's a computer. This is the computer X-ray system. It reads the X-ray images and we display them in the computer here as we see. Then after, normally others we send them through the internal system to the other side. And if we need to produce a film, in case we need a film to print out, but basically we normally send it in a soft copy to the other areas of the hospital.
So this one, unlike the old type, someone has added it. So we also have those ones which are mobile, which you can even use in the field. In other words, it's capable of going to capture the information, then bring it up.
Also, there is the assessment of like the prostate.
How long does it take?
Yes.
How long does it take?
Pardon?
How long does it take
for the ultrasound to be done? The ultrasound, it depends on which type of a scan you're doing. Sometimes it can take between 5 minutes to even 30 minutes, depending on the particular what you exactly you're assessing during that time.
Kidneys, the liver, and people could tell whether they have issues and make a report there and then.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
So that is.
Kibuuzo ekyo kati nga bwe twabagambye wano okuva okuleka okusupportinga troops zaffe tugezaako n'okutuusa obujanjabi ku bannansi ba Somalia okubayamba bafunye ebizibu ebitali bimu nga ekyokulabirako emabegako nga wiiki emu emabega waliwo omukyala yali yakubibwa essasi nga lyamukwata mu bulago ne ligenda kumpi nnyo ne spine cord. Naye omusawo waffe orthopedic surgeon yasobodde omujjanjaba bulungi n'akola exploration essasi lino n'alijjamu lyadde litandise omuleetera obuzibu nga atandise okusanyalala omukono olwa pressure lyadde litandise okuleeta ku cord kuba lyadde liri kumpi nnyo ne cord. Twasobodde oddimujjamu bulungi era ne tumusibula yamaze mu ddwaliro ennaku 5 ne tumusibula n'addayo ng'ali bulungi. Kati ajja wano okufuna obujjanjabi okufuna care follow up care agenda kukomawo enkya okuddamu omulaba. Obujjanjabi bwonna bwa bwereere UPDF mugimanyi tetusaba abantu ssente tubajjanjabira bwereere. Yesebo essasi lyabadde limumazeemu mu mubiri emyaka 13 nga lyamukubibwa ne liyingira mu nsingo ne ligenda kumpi ne spinal cord naye ng'ono civilian wa wano omusomali omukyala wano munansi wa wano. Endwadde ze tusinga okujjanjaba wano mu ddwaliro lino mulimu endwadde eza bulijjo ez'ekyenda tuziyita abdominal condition problems nga abdominal pain, ulcer pains bwe zityo. Tulina n'obulwadde obulala obw'ekifuba respiratory infections, tulina n'obulwadde obulala obwa dengue, tulina ne injuries ez'ekika ez'enjawulo, injuries either eziva mu battlefield oba injuries eza bulijjo ng'omuntu afunye accident oba emmotoka emutomedde oba ekintu kyonna kimulumye nazo tuzirina. Mu lutalo luno nga nze omusawo omukyala ate akola ku by'okujjanjaba mu butuufu injuries zendabye wano zibadde tezitiisa nnyo. Injury naziraba dda byonna ne Uganda era injuries almost zezimu tewabadde nnyo injury entiisanga nnyo nga nze mu buntu. Injury si mpya, injury zonna za bulijjo ne walala zonna era nga bwe tuzifuna ne wano ze ziriwo tezitiisa. Mu Somalia wano tufuna oku challenges ngeza bulijjo mpozi ng'okumisinga family zaffe zetulekayo Uganda. Nenjagala okubategeeza ti mu mission eno tufuna okuddayoko ne tulaba ku family zaffe ne tukomawo. Tebatusibira wano nti olina okubeera wano okumala omwaka omulamba. Nga nze kati wano nakomyewo ku Lwomukaaga nabadde nazeeyoko. So bwe tuba tumisinga nnyo family zaffe tufunamu ka period kati noddayoko n'olaba ku family n'omala n'okomawo. Numbers tuzirina ezitumala okulaba nga bwe mba nzizeeyo waliwo abalala bagenda okusobola nga bakola ki batwala mu maaso omulimu. Mujja kwekyusiza. Hapa nang'ani. Okay. Our troops will also try to give medical care extended to the Somali nationals. For example, recently, just about 1 week ago, we admitted a lady who had a retained blade in the neck, and it had been there for about 13 years, and it had started giving her symptoms with numbness on one side of the body. We have an orthopedic surgeon. We scheduled her for surgery, and the surgery was done successfully, and we managed to retrieve this bullet from her neck. She progressed well post-operatively, and we discharged her about 3 days ago. She will come back tomorrow for a review and follow-up care, where we are continuing to give her physiotherapy with some rehabilitation. Thank you very much. The commonest conditions that we see in this mission, apart from the injuries that our troops get, we also get common medical illnesses like abdominal problems, dyspeptic symptoms. We get respiratory tract infections. We get urinary tract infections. We get dengue. Dengue is endemic in this area. We get a couple of patients that have dengue fever. And those are the common conditions that we see in this region.
Doctor, funga maji hiyo kwanza. Okay. Afande imeinuka kwa kamera. Mbona kamera kama wewe? Yes. Okay, imeinuka kwa kamera.
Now you're going to plant the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another one of you may plant
the water. Fungua maji. Maji ya kutosha.
Obugalo.
Maria
ate baguna afanga tumanya ngalina chimulika kukala kasita etukuli stop the water etukuli look at the camera.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Asante sana. Yes.
Okay.
Weka hadi.
Major General Ngendabank Marius, the Acting Force Commander. I welcome you in the Artemis Force Headquarters. Artemis, Director of Defense Public Information from Uganda, Brigadier Felix Kulaige, Chief of GS, Head of Department, esteemed journalists from Uganda, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Allow me from the outset to thank you most sincerely for choosing to visit ATMIS, African Union Transition Mission in Somalia. It is a great honor to have you here. Your presence, I believe, will help us amplify the vital work that is being done to pave the way for a bright future for the people of Somalia. Having said that, let me begin by giving you a brief historical background of the mission. In March 2007, in response of catastrophic human cost of conflict in Somalia, the African Union mission in Somalia, AMISOM force was deployed. The force was mandated to degrade Al-Shabaab and build the capacity of Somali security forces so that the mission could eventually withdraw after a short period. The exit didn't happen through, as the security threat that necessitated the deployment at the first place continued. On 1st April 2022, the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, ATMIS, became operational with a mandate to implement the Somali Transition Plan, SDP, and degrade Al-Shabaab. ATMIS differs from AMISOM by the requirement to develop quick reaction forces, QRF, with enabling capacity to rapidly degrade Al-Shabaab and other extremist militant groups. It also confers the force commander with increased command and control authority. Having given the historical background, let me explore the significant successes the force has had. Our deployment has enabled the conditions necessary for political development, economic prosperity, social cohesion, and human development through creating a safe and a secure environment. Consequently, governance institutions are back and a democratically elected government is in place. A robust rule of law governance framework has also emerged. This has culminated the recent Somali's accession to the East African Community, EAC, and election to the United Nations Security Council. Progress has also been registered on the economic front. On 13th December 2023, Somalia attained debt relief. This will enable Somalia to fortify its economic framework, elevate poverty, and generate employment opportunities for its citizens. On physical security, in the past year, over 236 targeted shaping and clearance operations have been conducted. About 41% of those operations were executed jointly with Somali security forces. Because of those operations, we have been able to achieve several milestones. First, we have significantly degraded Al-Shabaab. The stability being experienced in the capital of various federal member states, FMS, is a testament of this assertion. Second, we have been able to clear main supply routes, MSARs, of improvised explosive devices, IDs, this making them motorable. Third, we have mentored and trained SSF on combat operations, which has inculcated their confidence to conduct independent operations. Lastly, we have facilitated the work of humanitarian agencies by increasing humanitarian space in 2 areas hitherto inaccessible to the insecurity. We provided also the security on humanitarian convoys. The force has also enabled the federal government of Somalia, FGS, and the people of Somalia to make tremendous progress in bridging social fissures and in ensuring peace and security. It is no surprise, therefore, that on 1st December 2023, the UN Security Council made a historic decision to lift the arms embargo on Somalis by Resolution 2714. This is a pivotal step in bolstering Somali's security and in facilitating the transition to the Somali-led security process. It is because of the successful implementation of Somali Transition Plan that in June 2023 and January 2024, the force successfully conducted Phase 1 and 2 drawdowns of 5,000 troops. This involved the handover of 13 FOBs, forwarding operating based FOB, with 3 being closed. Notably, the force handing over FOB at Villa Somalia and the Parliament. This is a significant milestone representing the resurgence of the Somali security forces' capability and authority after 17 years. ATMIS is now progressively handing over increased security responsibility to the federal government of Somalia in its Phase 3 drawdown of 4,000 troops. The drawdown shall continue to be informed by a process that is owned and led by FGS and the people of Somalia. In this regard, yesterday, we hand over Barire FOB in Sector 1. To consolidate peace, contribute to stability, build trust, and promote transition to sustainable development, ATMIS troop contributing countries, TCCs, through their own effort and within means, have rehabilitated schools, graded air trips, and provided school learning materials and health care. For instance, last year in Kismayo, the force helped in construction of 5 classrooms and provision of furniture at Ahmed Gure School. Despite the accesses alluded to, the effectiveness of the force has been hampered by the inadequate forces multipliers. This has impeded combat effectiveness, operational flexibility, and overall mission success. But I'm happy that this matter has been given serious consideration at the highest level of decision making. Indeed, recently the force received 4 additional air assets. Limited and unpredictable resources also hinder our ability to effectively address complex peace operation tasks. The African Union Peace and Security Council is equally seized of this matter. Poor EMSA that have been affected by floods. Moreover, the roads have also suffered from the effects of IDs. The impact of poor routes on military operations is multifaceted, affecting logistics, communication, force protection, strategic mobility, medical support, and overall operational effectiveness. I therefore call upon the donor community to help Somalia build its social infrastructure. Climate change. Long droughts and heavy rainfall negatively affected the living condition of the population and created severe famine. In conclusion, as we look forward to our exit on 31st December this year, the expectation is that the security gains will continue to be consolidated. This will ensure peace and prosperity for the people of Somalia. We will work closely with all stakeholders and further sustain our offensive against Al-Shabaab. Our priority is to support a Somali-led peace and security process. Accordingly, we are currently supporting the federal government of Somalia in informing a post-Artemis mission. The post-Artemis mission mandate, posture, composition, and its overall architecture will be informed by a very comprehensive security assessment that focuses on security threats and other variables. To this end, the force has provided all required information to the relevant stakeholders to ensure that this is realized. Notably, the new mission aims to sustain the progress made thus far, particularly in ongoing momentum against Al-Shabaab. I now invite you to field the questions that you might have. Thank you very much. The SNA have demonstrated enhanced the capability by holding the 13 FOBs, handing over in phase 1 and phase 2 of the drawdown. Even if Al-Shabaab tried to attack them, but they resisted on those attacks. So up to now, all those FOB are under the hand of SSF. So we hope that they will continue to hold properly those FOBs. Come again, what is
the capacity of SNA to handle Artemis?
The Artemis forces mentored the SSF in a joint operation. We plan together, and in some operations we also executed joint operations. So now SNA are able to conduct independent operations. Now they are conducting operations in Gargadug, in Hiran, and in Mudug region. And last year, they conducted operation in Hiran and the Gargadug region, and they liberated many villages and the cities from Al-Shabaab. So we are confident that now SSF have a capability to handle the security of their countries. Moreover, last year, more 15,000 troops were generated, trained, and equipped. But they still need more forces, so they need to train more fighters and also to equip them. The emphasis should be in training and acquisition of appropriate equipment to hold the ground. Al-Shabaab has been significantly degraded. Now Al-Shabaab operates in small groups, but they are able to collect fighters from different areas or locations in order to carry out what they call a complex attack, which is combined of VBID or PVBID and infantry fighters. So as SSF and ATMIS forces continue to fight against Al-Shabaab, I'm sure in a short time they will degrade Al-Shabaab totally. But it's a process. Also, to handle Al-Shabaab properly, as you know, Al-Shabaab is a terrorist group, and they are conducting an asymmetric war. So, to face or to degrade an insurgency group, it is a process. It takes time. And also, it needs a global approach. A global approach, it means it requires effort from military side, diplomatic, economic, and development, among others. Even they should involve the population in the fighting of insurgency group. Without the participation of the population, we can defeat totally an insurgency group.
The last question is, what is your take on
Thank you very much. There is a principle which says that what you do for me without me is against me. We don't have our paper here. This is they said the ATMIS is a Somali-led mission, a Somali-led security process. ATMIS is supposed to support the FGS, the federal government of Somalia. So we support the initiative of the government. And the government represents the whole population because it's an elected government. So we are here to support the effort of the government, which means the effort of the population. The priority of the population in order to restore peace and stability in the country. Thank you very much.
I wish you
But during this phase, all FOBs will be taken over. All the FOBs which are supposed to handing over to SSF will be taken over by the Somali security forces, which is a very big step in the process to restore peace and stability in Somalia. And also it shows the capacity building of the Somali security forces, and we hope they will get more capability in order to take over the full security responsibility from ATMIS forces. Thank you very much. Welcome again.
If it comes like this, fine, but if it does like this,
I'm telling you,
I have a problem.
from your yes. Next year, Raila Amolo Odinga, AU chairman.
But I've enjoyed it. So that Muzungu does, it looks like he doesn't care. Mind. He even looks behind like this.
he tired from work and now he has just come for a second.
We thought it fit for the Ugandan media to come and witness for themselves how it is being done. And we are lucky to witness a handover yesterday. Number two, we would wish to know from you how it's being done. Number two, what are the prospects in the short, medium, and long term for this country that we have been supporting.
Yeah.
And that's why the selection includes those stations that speak the local languages and those that do English, both print and the electronic media. Okay, welcome, Excellency, to address you.
It is my privilege, my honor, and my pleasure to warmly welcome you in this mission, which is your mission, because I know you serve this mission, and you continue to serve this mission, and you are working with the people who are serving remotely this mission and those who are in this mission. Without UPDF, AMISOM could not be established, because the UPDF was the very first contingent that landed here in Mogadishu in 2007 and play an important role to liberate Mogadishu and the rest of the country. And UPDF was joined later on by other TCCs and PCC. So I take this opportunity to warmly welcome you and welcome our brothers and sisters from the media, saying that you came at a very critical but a momentum time, because as highlighted by the General, the Director, you came while we start already the drawdown of phase 3. That was a big milestone for us, a big achievement for us, following the CONOPS and the UN Security Council resolution. So you are most welcome, and I give you the floor. If there is anything that you didn't hear from Sector 1 Commander, or you didn't hear from my public information officer, so I'm ready to respond.
When we had an accident with some of the local in the area, most of yesterday, especially when we were in and the particular FOB that was handed over to some SNL has been handed over to them 3 times, and well, have been handed over, but Al-Shabaab has been coming because it seems it's an achievement for ATMIS, but the local population has not yet come to terms with the reality, the fact that ATMIS, these people still want the services of the ATMIS because they have been given a human face. You've done actually more beyond this peace, and people appreciate it.
I mentioned the milestone and achievement and good narrative. You know that Somalia used to be a very strong country. Somalia played an important role in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Somalia supported many African countries to get their independence. And also in terms of capacity building, Somalia was there to support African countries. Unfortunately, the state collapsed in early 90s. And what followed, the country went through a civil war. And many initiatives have been taken in neighboring countries, Djibouti, for example, Kenya, Uganda, Egypt, Ethiopia, to bring peace and security. It could not work until IGAD intervened, the UN intervened, and the African Union decided to establish a mission here in 2007. At that time, you might recall that the government was not based here in Somalia. The diplomatic mission accredited to Somalia were not here. All of them, they were out of this country. They were in Nairobi mostly. But after the UPDF landed here, and when they were landed, they found that there were Ethiopian troops already on the ground, but they were not part of the African Union mission at that time. So they had to rely on them when they are landing at the airport. If you see today the video, you could see that Al-Shabaab were very active on the ground. But today, we can say that we achieve a lot because Al-Shabaab is not anymore threatening. You know, people, aircraft want to land in Mogadishu, and the capital, Mogadishu became again the capital city of Somalia because the administration is here, the government is here, diplomatic mission are here, and also the capital city of federal member states like Johar, like Baidoa, like Kismayo, Duble. The administration is there. You have some pockets of Al-Shabaab in some of the remote area. And they are threatening people, they intervene time to time, they conduct operation, and not only here in the country, but also outside of the country. You know that Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda have been targeted by Al-Shabaab many times. So it is a threat not only for Somali, but it is a global threat. Regional first, and then global, because when Al-Shabaab, they seize and they take, vessel and ship passing by, from the Red Sea, passing by the Indian Ocean, going down to the channel of Mozambique. It is a global challenge for the trade. Today, you have Al-Houthi at the Red Sea. They block the road, and then many of the shipment and vessel, they don't come through there, but they go through West Africa, and they go down up to South Africa, and then they come. This is a trip of 1 week or 10 days from Europe to Mombasa, for example, or to Dar es Salaam. Now it will take 4 weeks or 6 weeks. and it means that the cost, instead of paying 1,000, you are going to pay, let's say, 4,000 or 5,000. It is a global threat and a global challenge. So now, the Somalis, I mean, those who express concern, they are right because they're scared that Shabab can come anytime. But most of the work of shaping and clearance have been done by our TCCs. So I take this opportunity to commend that good work and to congratulate the UPDF and the leadership in Uganda. You have done a lot of sacrifices here for what? For peace, security, not only in this country, but in the entire region. One day, I mean, we'll have to live. This is like a family. A son is born, grow up, but one day he will leave his mom and he will go and get married, go somewhere else. So we need to prepare our moral that one day we will live. So our brothers and sisters of Somalia, they appreciate the work that and the sacrifice done by the TCCs and the PCC, but we need to gradually leave the country. I mean, in 2007, 2009, I mean, the mission, the scope, the size of the mission was 22,000. Today we are talking about 13,000, and we have started the drawdown of phase 3. Initially, phase 3 we were supposed to pull out 4,000 of our troops, but after consultation and discussion, we are going to pull out 2,000, and 2,000 might remain until September. And while we are negotiating the follow-on post-ATMIS mission, because instead of leaving in December 2024 as African Union mission, we will leave as ATMIS, but the African Union will remain here with a new mission. We move from AMISOM to ATMIS, and we'll move from ATMIS to a new mission, African Union mission. So those 2,000 might be added to the troop of the phase 4, 9,500. So it will be like 11,500. Then they will remain. They will be reconfigured and remain for the new mission. We make sure that we are not going to be in the entire country, but we targeted some. I mean, the mine supply road. We targeted also the population center, the strategic infrastructure. While we are working closely with the SNA, they have increased and generate forces, and will continue, as highlighted yesterday by the sector commander, Sector 1, saying that they will continue to support and work closely with the SNA wherever they are. This mission is not like any other regular or normal mission. The composition of the mission, I mean, it's not like any other peacekeeping mission where you have specific rules and then you know that the UN is in charge. Here, this is a hybrid mission. You have the UN in terms of logistic support, and then in terms of funding, you have the European Union and you have the UK. But in terms of TCC, you have the African Union represented by the country, that PCC and TCC. So what we can do as the mission, if something happened like what happened in Blumarere last year, so we engage, our team in terms of investigation, assessment, and we document everything. So then we are working. We have a team dedicated for that, and then all the file, we transfer them to Addis Ababa, and Addis Ababa is dealing with our partners, those who are in charge of the funding, if it comes to any compensation. I know it's difficult. Last year we were in Kampala, 27 April. all head of state, plus the commissioner of political affairs, peace and security, were in Addis Ababa to discuss the issue of funding. And we have two head of state who have been, requested to be champion on the issue of funding to deal with the international partner, traditional and non-traditional. And it's not a matter of stipend only, it's not a matter of COE, it's not a matter, but the global. So I think progress has been made. Now we have less headache if it comes to the stipend. But the issue of the compensation, people, they continue because it is really a very long process. Yes. You know, people, they might think that African Union Mission, ATMIS, or AMISOM, those are like a guard, what you say, those are just securing infrastructure or soldiers. No, we don't do things like that. Here in Mogadishu, we have a specific task. We are protecting the civilian. This is number one. By protecting civilian, we have the troops. But the troops only cannot, be sufficient. You need to have troops, but you need to conduct other activities. Because Somalia is a big country, large. We have the biggest coast in the Indian Ocean. So you cannot, if you bring the UPDF and you bring the Burundian troops, you cannot fill, the entire country. So what we need is to conduct some of the activities, national reconciliation activities, social cohesion. While the troops, they are playing their role as military and police. But before we deploy the troops, UPDF, you can ask the general, he will tell you, we deploy a team to Kampala first, and they train the troops those are to be deployed here. This is what we call pre-deployment training. Ethiopia, Burundi, Djibouti, we do the same thing. So we train them on rule of engagement. This is African Union rule of engagement, humanitarian international law, human rights international law, and we do the same exercises with the SNA here. So then when, the SNA is going to play a role on the ground, but they know that there is no any excuse, zero tolerance if it comes to human rights and humanitarian international law. We do that, but in parallel, the UN, they do here we have ONSOM, they do the same exercises, they have a dedicated component, in training, not only the troops, the SNA, but they are training even the people who are, in the administration, civil servant. In terms of mentorship, we do it. If you could hear properly yesterday when the sector commander was there to hand over to the SNA, that FOB, but he mentioned to them that they will continue to support them as much as they can. Support in terms of logistics, support in terms of intelligence, support in terms of training. We do train people on the ground. Many of the SNA and FMS have been trained on the ground by our TCC and PCC. We have different programs. I think tomorrow is 17, or the day after tomorrow. 17 we are going to launch, training here, and many of them, they will be part of that. So I'm glad to mention that with those kind of training, now we are discussing the postal ATMIS mission, and believe me, the white paper has been proposed by the Somalis themselves, the scope, the mandate, the size of the mission, meaning that they took ownership. They know where we are, they know from where we come, and they know where we are going. Thank you.
Handed over to the SNA 3
have you tried to assess the reason as to why whenever they hand it over, the Al-Shabaab comes back and take it over?
You know, we have equipment that people are using and provided by our partners, the UN. And those equipment are handed over to the SNA. You have equipment that came from, belong to the TCC or the PCC, came from the town. So it depends on the relationship and the willing of the TCC. If they want to donate, they donate, some of them. This happened in the past, and some of those equipment, they take them back to the capital with the support of ONSOS. This is number one. Number two, the issue of this specific FOB, not only this, but also we have other TCCs in Sector 4, other FOB in Sector 4, Hawadle, for example, that has been handed over. But unfortunately, Al-Shabaab, they came later, I think after 1 month, and they took over. So we had to intervene, and we put some of our troops there, the BNDF, the Burundian, they are there, and we established a temporary operation base there. We tried. We thought that by June, with this drawdown, we are going to hand over, but it is a very strategic location. And it will be difficult to hand over it now. And we agree, we take this opportunity to thank the Burundian army leadership for accepting to hold that FOB until we finalize the process with the SNA. So this FOB is a very strategic, and on the request of the principal of the country, they asked the UPDF to keep it. And you know that not only the FOB, but around the FOB, the UPDF, they have done a good job, and they will live today and leave a good legacy. There was a bridge, and that bridge was vital for the movement of the people and around. That bridge has been destroyed by Al-Shabaab. UPDF built that bridge, and today I'm sure that sector commander mentioned that they are leaving that area, but with a lot of pride, because they will leave legacy for the benefit of the people around.
Alex?
Compensation and the issue of stipend, and it's not easy because I told you that this is a hybrid mission. We observed in the past there was a hybrid mission with one administration in Darfur, UNAMID. That was the African Union, the very first hybrid mission, African Union and the UN. But the administration was one in Darfur. Today is totally different. I mean, the TCC, they are working with the African Union, and the African Union is working with the country, those are, funding the mission, like UK and the European Union. They do sit down together. They came up with the document, narrative, report, what has been done, what you have to justify everything. So it's not like we are dealing directly with UPDF. If we're dealing directly with UPDF, we have the payroll, for example, we submit, and then we say that, okay, let's do this. It is a very long process. I will explain to you differently. From here to go to Uganda, Entebbe, there is a direct flight. But the system for the force commander, if he want to get compensation or to get when he's going on leave, he doesn't have to go directly. He has to go through Nairobi. This gentleman, he is from Ethiopia. But before, if he wants to go on leave, if he want to be supported by the mission, those rules have been established, long time ago. He has to go through Nairobi, while we know that you have direct flight from here to Addis Ababa. So it's really difficult, but we are working, and I'm glad that this year, many progress have been done for the troops, not only the TCC, but also the PCC in terms of stipend. The issue of the clan, you know that, welcome, General. In terms of clan, you know, Somali, they have something which is very, very positive. I mean, one country, one nation, one language, one culture, one religion. Those tools and means for the unity of Somalia. If we take those things into consideration, I mean, a Somali who is born here and a Somali who was born in Nairobi or in Kampala or in Addis Ababa, they speak the same language. They don't need, someone to translate, to interpret. They speak the same language. They are sharing, you know, the same culture. They are sharing the same religion. Today, all of them, they are celebrating the Eid. This is, I think, a good tool for the unity of the country. Now, if it comes to the clan, we don't deal directly with the clan. We deal with the FGS, the government. And we deal with the FMS, the federal member state. And the clan, we should acknowledge that, for example, phase one of the offensive conducted by the government since the arrival of President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, the clan have played an important role. They joined the SNA to fight against Al-Shabaab. They have done that, and some of the localities where you don't have a sufficient number of SNA, the clan, the troop belonging to the clan, they are there to hold those localities until, we finish the issue of Al-Shabaab, and we hope that those troops belonging to the clan, they will join the regular army. Yes, Sulaiman. To the troops, those who are fighting, coming from the African Union countries, like Uganda, Ethiopia, Burundi, Djibouti, the TCC, and you have also the PCC, for the police. You have Sierra Leone, you have Nigeria, you have Uganda, and you have Djibouti. So this is for the African Union, and this is for ATMIS, and this is what I can tell you. Shabab, it will be difficult, to tell you who is funding Shabab. I know that the government is working very hard. Three things targeted by the government: the propaganda. And today, if 2 years ago you go through the social media, you see a lot of propaganda. So they managed to fight that, and the propaganda of Al-Shabaab is not anymore like it used to be 2 years ago. The funding, they cut resources. Some of the funding, coming from abroad, from organization, some from the private, and some the Shabab itself in the territory that they have, under their control. They organize administration. People are paying what we call tax, zakat. Which is like the tax people are paying here in the customs and so on. They are very well organized and they collect taxes. So they have different sources of funding.
From him?
For so long was under arms embargo. That doesn't mean that the government is not allowed to get weapons. You need to follow specific rules, UN rules, and they were working, or they're still working with a structure established by the Security Council called the panel experts, who are coming, and then they will check, they will ask. So then the government has to follow specific rules and regulation to collect and get arms. They can do that bilaterally with Uganda or with Burundi, but what was needed is to report to the Security Council through appropriate channel. Now, the arms embargo, and this one of the lifting is one of the milestones of this government. The lifting of the debt relief, the arms embargo has been lifted, and the admission to the East African community. And also today they got a non-permanent seat at the Security Council, meaning that the trust is there and they are getting support from the international community because there is a trust, there is a confidence, and they are very serious. They are working very, very hard. So now, what is needed, is to have the money and to buy weapons appropriate weapons. And this is something that we advocate. We say the international community that, they support Somalia to train people, the generated forces. We are glad to know that 3,000 of them, they have been trained in Uganda. 3,000 have been trained in Ethiopia. 5,000 in Eritrea. 1,500 have been trained in Egypt. But like those who have been trained by Turkey, the Americans and Emirates, they've been trained and equipped. So here, we call upon the international community to support while Uganda managed to train 3,000. Those 3,000 to be equipped, have, appropriate equipment and weapons. This is something that the international community could do it. As I mentioned, the threat here in Somalia is not a threat with regard to Somalia, but a threat for the entire region, but a global threat. There is a kind of fatigue. There is a kind of fatigue inside and outside this country. Somalis, some of them, they are wealthy. They have resources. Some of them, they have done a lot of investment in neighboring countries and even elsewhere out of the continent. And they are ready to come. They love their countries. They are like the Lebanese who were born in Brasilia, who were born in Argentina, who were born. They still have an attachment with Lebanon. Inside of the country, you have like 5 million, but the Lebanese, they are maybe over 50 million outside of the country. Some of them, they are in West Africa, and they like their country. So the Somali, the same thing. So what is required is to have peace, stability, and security, and then you will see that people, they will come. You cannot invest in a country if you are not sure that there is a stability and there is a security. So once that is done, those people, they will come. So I think, it is legitimate to express concern and to push, but they are working very hard, to support the government. They are working very hard. For example, yesterday you could hear that the population around that FOB, they establish a good relationship with the UPDF, those who are living there. There is a kind of familiarization. They share